Welcome to Word Nerds. Visualize your vocabulary. Make a picture of it. It'll last longer. Welcome to Word Nerd, the Superman of words. Again, we're doing 20 words. Let's get to start with. Our first word is apropos. Apropos here is an adjective, and this just basically means something's appropriate. Here it's appropriate, and in this case, well, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion. It's something's appropriate. When something's happened appropriately, it means it happens not by chance, but because of good luck. Like in this case. So you lost your order. Well, appropriately, a phone fell down from the sky, and you look at it. And there, conveniently, the first app you find is an apro boat. Apro pole. And because you click the apro pole, it turns into an oar to replace your old one. Thank you, apro pole app on this phone. Our second word is albeit. Albeit. This is a synonym for even so. Because when something's albeit, it's like, albeit it's great, like, this is something, albeit this, like, I like books, albeit some of them are boring. That works out, right? And the word you use to remember it is albeit. Pirates are on the sea, and the no winds equals no turbulence, so they have to wait with their morning coffee just until they get on sail again. However, they don't like doing nothing, so they go ahead and say, let's play tag, and no one wants to be it. And they're like, and then the one with the peg says, I will be it, and they're like, because he's stereotypical, because he has only one eye, has an eye patch on one eye, a peg leg on one. And they're like, yeah, you're on, peg leg. Alright, here we go. Next up, we have froward. Now, this is froward. This just basically means disobedient. When someone's froward, that person's extremely disobedient. Now, this little baby here riding a dog is actually a 2-year-old because he's very disobedient. Like, you froward little child, stop getting those scissors. Where did you even get those scissors? They're about as big as you. And like, froward Mart, and he's so disappointed that he acts like a cowboy, gets on a dog to try to get the cat a haircut completely off its ear, like, froward march. And the dog going in the exact different direction while the cat is running away from the scissors, and they're like, stop it, man, stop it. Where did you even get these scissors? Also, the word that you use to remember this is froward, because it's the 2-year-old trying to say forward, but he ends up saying froward. Wow. Our fourth word is alacrity. Here, it just basically means eagerness, because when this black kitty is very eager, it can do anything that you want it to do for you. It basically is very eager. Here is you use the word a black kitty to remember it. Okay, so forward. So the alacrity, our eagerness. This black kitty is very eager at doing this. He goes ahead, grabs your bag. He goes ahead, grabs your stuff. He goes ahead, gets you a drink. He goes ahead, mixes it up, and then gives it to you at your house. Ding ding ding, dinner's served. Our fifth word is eccentric. Now, this is supposed to be Newton, but I cannot help but think of Bach. Alright, here's the thing. This guy is well known for the theory of gravity, most famous from this story. And he finds this eccentric thing, which just basically means it's entirely peculiar. And that peculiar thing is centrifugal motion, centrifugal force, whereas like the merry-go-round, where you go around like that. Let me give you the example. Oh, you use the word eccentric to remember this. Sir Isaac Newton goes ahead and finds a very eccentric discovery. He goes ahead and, since he likes music, starts turning down the turntable. However, he realizes the inside spins faster than the outside, and realizes if you put something on the outside, it will keep going into the inside. And he decides to test this theory by going ahead and putting an egg in it. Finds this bizarre. By the way, that's a synonym of eccentric. And realizes, so eccentric. It goes to the center. So eccentric. Da-dang-dang. Our sixth word is vestige. Vestige just basically means something old. It's a noun. And here, of course, it just basically means worn out. It's worn out. Napoleon and everyone else in history probably had that iconic thing where they put usually the right hand inside their vest and takes that pose. However, here, This person decides to spend $500,000 on Napoleon's old vest. The real deal is worn out from centuries of unuse and, of course, misuse. And of course, this guy decides that he thinks of himself as a vestige, where he goes ahead into the future, technically past, where he looks at himself and he thinks he's Napoleon. 야, 그 사람 미쳤지 않았니? Does he look like Napoleon? I don't think so. Alright, here we go. This word is inadvertent. Now, when something's inadvertent, as I can probably guess from the raccoon going inside there from the birds, because raccoons actually like eating birds. Now, inadvertent here basically means accidental. You inadvertently go inside. You inadvertently hit the cat. You inadvertently kick the cat. It's all accidental. And of course, you have inadvertent as the word that you use to memorize this. Now, this raccoon goes inside a bird tent incidentally and inadvertently goes inside a bird tent, and inadvertent eats all the birds up from his instincts. LOL! Alright, our eighth word is respite. Respite here just basically means recess. Yes, you heard it right. Recess, where to go ahead, have a short little break. And here are the word that you use to memorize all this. Thank God, it's respite. Here we go. First off, this is a snake, and they are in a literal marathon. And since they're in a marathon, they need to take a little rest. And so they have this little cottage here for a little recess, this water fountain for water. That's the perfect recess, don't you think? That's the perfect respite. Here's our next word, incongruous, which just basically means inconsistent. And you also remember this from with the word King Kong's roots. Now, you might be thinking, what's so incongruous about this height? Why do I feel like I see a giant King Kong over there? You look inside the stadium and you see, is that a giant King Kong towering over everyone? And you're like, oh my God, it is real. King Kong's real. And yes, it's of course, it's incongruous with real life, but hey, if it works, it works. Next up, we have cynosure. Now, cynosure just basically means something that's really, really, really attractive, like celebrities. You remember this word with sign on shore. Now, here you go. Sign on shore, cynosure. Now, cynosure, you see everyone there and you realize this is a cynosure and you realize something. Wow. What's everyone looking at? You go there and you look at it and you realize it's just a big sign with bright neon yellow words called attention written on it. What a waste of signs on shores, if you ask me. Next up, we have this one. Heterody, which just basically means nonconformist. Here is someone who goes ahead and breaks the laws. This duck goes ahead. Ducks need to migrate every year, every 6 months, so they can go to the next woman's place. However, this duck decides to be heterody, inconsistent, unconventional. The nonconformist puts a heater on his back. Hey, get it? Heterody, heater on his back, so he'll feel warm for the rest of his 6 months. I don't think the heater has enough batteries to last 6 months, so little Mr. Duck. Next, we have trite, which just basically means worn out. Some trite phrases are an apple a day keeps the doctor away, or iPhone, the I in iMac, the I in iPad, the I in Macintosh, the I in the Apple Vision Pro, those things. Nowadays, Apple products don't even have I in front of them anymore. It just doesn't sound right at all. Anyways, there's this African spider called trite, and they're like, it blabs all the things inside other people's ears, but they're like trite phrases where it's already overused. Next up, we have apathy. Apathy here just basically means coolness. And you remember with the word apple tree. Now, you might be thinking it's coolness. The apathy, when you get an apple hit on your head underneath an apple tree, that's so cool, man. So cool, because you just recreated Sir Isaac Newton's story. Our next word is finesse. Now, this works out really well. Finesse. It just basically means worn out, no. Artfulness. They're very cunning. The very great ways they can do it. Here we have a few things that can work out. There's these sharks, and they just show out their fins, and they're like, man, what is all this up here? And they go ahead with their artful little things. They go ahead and lay some fin eggs. They use their fins to lay some eggs. What a very big coincidence in our life of shark fins. Next up, we have charlatan. Now, charlatan here means fraud, as can be indicated by this guy who goes ahead and scammed them from Latin classes. First off, you use the word Latin, sure, or sure, Latin, take your pick, to go ahead and do this word too. Explanation. There are these think of this image. There are these tourists who just saw a little Latin writing on the Colosseum, and they find a local and they ask, "Hey, can you read that Latin for us?" And they're like, "Sure, Latin. Hey, but it's gonna cost $5 though." And they're like, "I'm curious enough to just lose $5, pay $5." The next thing that happens is that he does some pig Latin and turns that into English. But what we see is that it's definitely fake. And do you really know Latin? Haha, suckers, get away. You like being frauded? And they go and he just runs away. And they're still sort of confused. Next up, we have ratify. Ratify here just basically means to help change something. Like the United States of America people, have the original cabinet of George Washington went ahead, and when they created the Constitution of the United States of America, they went ahead and made this. If someone wants to add a new amendment, they have to ratify it. Like at least 15 states had to ratify it, because back then 15 states was like more than they had. That happened, and afterwards everything just went ahead their way too. Everyone started ratifying some of these constitutions, ratifying the constitutions to put in amendments, and of course we now have over 30 amendments. I think we have over 50 now. Here you use the word ratify to go ahead and memorize this. All the mouses of Mouseland went ahead and thought of this. Hey, if we're just gonna rename our place Mouse Ratland, do rats get citizenship? Everyone but this one lone mouse would ratify it, but this one lone mouse would not. "No rat if I can help it" is his motto. "No rat if I can help it. I will not ratify this constitution." Very pun intended worthy, if you ask me. Next up, we have fetter. Wow, a superboy with very skinny arms and cannot even break feathers. What a nice little good strong superboy. With me, at least I don't have skinny stuff. I'll just show this while I talk about it. Fetter. Fetter just basically means you're pretty weak. You're a weakling, and you're like, however, here's how you do it. I'm not fetter. I'm actually sort of strong. Also, I probably get copyright from this. All right, I probably get taken down from this. All right, fetter. You must be so fetter. You can't even break feathers. You can't even break those handcuffs that made of feathers. All right, enough showing off my muscles. Next up, we have expatiate. By the way, teachers watching this, don't you dare do this, because this is disrespectful to your students and to the school representation. This teacher, expatiate just basically means you're talking nonstop, you're writing, talking, probably eating things nonstop. Speaking of eating things, you use the word expatiate to go ahead to remember this. Expatiate. Expatiate. Get it? Expatiate. Because this woman here, our little teacher here, is talking about American Indians and how they use maize corns to go doing things. They grind the corn and things. And she created one with the shape of an X. And she's like, "I'm going to eat it all the time. So I'm not." While all the expatiate goes down and drills everywhere on your shirt. And they're like, "We want some too, teacher." Yes. Expatiate. She's expatiating. So you can see the X paste she ate falling off and dribbling off her mouth. Note to teachers, don't you dare do this. This is disrespectful. Next up, we have bristle. Bristle just basically means you're fuming, as in anger fuming. In this case, you remember with the word bristle, as in paintbrush bristle. You know those things, those bristles that actually just stick out because they're clumped together. After this bristle was used, and it clumped away because it hated a mess, and then it bristled with anger and told us, "You shall not pass us and treat us like this. Gandalf the Grey. No, Bristle the Grey." Next up, we have iconoclast, which just basically means defacing public monuments, public symbols, things that are pretty important to this. Now, you've been playing this video game called Iconoclast. What is it about? It's about me hunting icons that are important to every country. Right now, I'm on the United States of America level. Oh, really? So what happens after you grab these icons? These icons are the only ones that remain about the United States of America. Your goal is to destroy every past symbol so that people will never remember their past. That's also mean. Exactly, I mean. And destroys the Statue of Liberty. It destroys the symbol of dollar. Wow. This, of course, the synonym is heretic, and of course, you use the word icon blast, as I just used right now, to actually do this. Don't you dare do this, patriots. Don't you dare. That's it for today. I really hope you guys actually did enjoy something. And I don't only have muscles on this side, I also have muscles on this. Not as developed, but it works. Developed. Not so developed, but developed. Alright, see you guys soon. Until next time, shout out, peace, bye bye. I'll stick with this side. Horror!